So there you have it, the banana flan that I made for Prince William and Harry.
Winston? Winston? Come back with that leg of lamb.
When I started as a chef at Buckingham Palace, I thought I'd be cooking foie gras and caviar and smoked salmon, all those rich foods. I didn't realise that I'd be cooking for the children too. But when you think about it, when the Queen goes to Balmoral and Sandringham, Windsor Castle, the children, the grandchildren, come and visit. Now, you can't send rose petal panna cotta with lavender shortbread up to a 5-year-old Prince William, can you? I mean, he doesn't have that sort of palate yet, or he didn't at that age. You know, they were all sort of royal princes and princesses, but they still had children's palates. Hence the birth, really, of nursery food. The banana flan was one of the most favourite dishes requested, certainly by Prince William and Prince Harry. I said banana flan, not banana bread. I mean bed. Actually, your banana bed does look quite cute. Oh, Winston. Banana flan was nursery food, and you can understand why it was popular if you think back to being a child. One of the things that we would first eat after we started on solids was mashed up bananas. And it just sort of evolved then, a little custard in there, banana custard. William and Harry had that at the palace too. And then a little pastry crust around the side. You've got a banana flan. So that's what I'm making today. Easy to make, and this pastry is just absolutely fantastic. The recipe just makes one flan tin, and you put all the ingredients into the food processor. Flour, butter. The butter needs to be cold. If it's too soft, it all clags around the blade and it doesn't work. Sugar, and then put the lid on and just blitz it. Once you've got nice fine crumbs, then you can add the egg yolk and the cream. Blitz it again, just for about a minute until everything comes together. Mix it all together, a little flour. Don't over mix it because it tightens up and it just makes the pastry all rubbery. That's not good, is it? So once you've brought all this together, just make a nice ball, a little flour underneath, a little flour on top, and then we can roll it out into our flan tin. We call this a flan, right? A banana flan. But is this a flan tin or is this a tart tin? What's the difference between a flan and a tart? Well, the flan, the banana flan, is like a cheese and egg flan. Wait, but that's a quiche. So confusing. So a tart is a pastry case with a filling in the center and no pastry lid on the top. Otherwise, that's a pie. So if a tart is a pastry base with a filling in the center and no lid, a flan is a pastry case, filling in the center and no lid. So I guess they're the same. You call them what you want. Is it a flan, a banana tart, banana flan? Doesn't matter, right? As long as it tastes good. Roll out the pastry so it fits the mold that you're using. Once you've got that in there, then what I like to do is lift the pastry and with my finger push that in and then go around the tin. So what I'm doing when I push that in is I'm actually pushing the dough into the corner. You know when you make a pie, a tart, and it looks like this, like a pudding basin? Well, this we want nice and square. So pushing this into the center as we go around. Now don't worry if you get a little hole there where it's not quite reached the top. There's just enough dough here to completely do one flan. So when we get a little leftovers here in a minute, we can go around and pop those in all the way around the side until it looks something like that. Then we take the rolling pin over the top one way, over the top this way, take off this excess dough. And now here in this corner and this corner on a circle, I mean here, then we can just push this in, and the same as here. Next, I'm going to go around the tin and start squeezing a little, because now I'm pushing it up against the sides. Next, I'm going to dock it. That means just make some holes in it like this. And by doing this, this helps stop the pastry from rising from the bottom and gets it nice and flat. Now, into the refrigerator. Let it set up for about 30 minutes before it goes into the oven. Once it's been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, then it's hardened up nicely and we can put it in the oven. But before we do that, we need to put some baking beans in the center to help hold up the sides as it cooks. If we don't do that, it just starts to collapse. The sides collapse and the base just puffs up. We end up with a right mess. Now, we use some parchment paper, first of all, in there, and we take the parchment, fold it in half, turn it sideways, fold it in half again, and then fold it in half again, and again. Origami, right? When we cut into this one, open it up, there'll be like 5 men all holding hands together or something like that. Then we just cut, tear down the side, open it up, and we've got a perfect circle that then just sits in the flan. Next, the weights to hold it down. We can use ceramic pie weights, we can use rice, or we can use beans. And we put those in the center and then push them down till they go right to the edges, and that will stop the pastry from just collapsing as it cooks in the oven. It goes in the oven for about 30 minutes till it's nice and golden brown around the sides. Then we'll lift the beans out and then put it back in for about another 10-15 minutes just to let it get nice and golden and crisp. So at the end we have this gorgeous tart shell. Once it comes out of the oven, it's nice and golden and crisp. You see how all those corners have all stayed where we wanted them to be. And we've got this crunchy, crispy pastry shell, which will go against the creaminess of that vanilla filling. And then those bananas on the top. This is going to be amazing. You can see why the boys loved it. While that was in the oven cooking, I weighed off my ingredients for the filling, the pastry cream. I'm going to let this cool to one side and make the pastry cream. I take milk and cream and put them in a pot, and some butter as well. And I'm going to put those on the stove and bring them to a boil. Then I've got some egg yolks and egg, and I'm going to add some sugar, salt, cornstarch, and vanilla bean paste. And I say paste, you know if you watch my videos, I swear by the vanilla bean paste, not vanilla extract, it's nasty. I put a link to it in the description below. A little splash each time you're cooking, it lasts forever. And it smells so good, and it really makes a difference. Once the cream, milk comes to the boil and the butter melts, we can then pour it into the egg mixture. Once it's all mixed in, it then goes back in the pan and onto the stove to thicken. Keep whisking until that cornstarch starts to thicken the egg mix. Make sure you get the mix from all around the sides. You don't want it catching, you don't want it burning. The great thing about using cornstarch in this is that once those liquids get hot enough to open up the cornstarch granules, then it starts to thicken automatic. If you were using flour, you'd actually have to cook this and let all those starch granules open, which can really take about 20 minutes to, lose that floury taste in the sauce. Once it's all mixed together and the tart now cold, or the flan, tart, flan, what is it? We can then pour into the mold. If you're making this at home, you can actually make the pastry cream the day before and just put some parchment paper over the top, put it in the refrigerator. Now it's going into the refrigerator again, just to set up before we put the bananas on the top. While it's cooling and setting up the custard, I'm going to take some apricot jelly and put it on the stove and just bring it to the boil, and so that I can brush that over the bananas. It's quiet in here, isn't it? Winston's sleeping. Then I'm going to get my bananas ready, and we'll get those sliced so that they're ready to go too. Winston! You want nice ripe bananas in this, but not overripe. Save the overripe ones for banana bread. And I'm actually cutting them slightly on the bias, you know, on a slant, so it looks a bit bigger. Right, let's see how we get on with those. Then we just need to get the flan from out of the fridge and then put the bananas on. And we just start on the outside and work our way through, and then just overlap those bananas as you go around. If you're not a huge fan of bananas, then you can do this with any soft berries, you know, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. They'll work perfect in this one. Whenever the boys were home, Princess Diana used to write banana flan in the menu book, and then she'd write H at the top or W to let me know who was coming, or obviously they both were. The boys had come back from school on a Friday to Kensington Palace and then come in the kitchen. What's for dinner, Darren? They'd see the banana flan on the side. Yes! And I like to go the other way around with my second circle. And then a few in the center just to finish off. Push it down slightly, and then the apricot glaze. Let's take it out of the mold, and now we can use the apricot glaze. Just lightly brush all the way around, and make sure you cover all the bananas. The glaze is to give it some more sweetness, but at the same time to protect those bananas so they don't go all brown and nasty. And then we can just let that set. So there you have it, the banana flan that I made for Prince William and Harry, growing up, nursery food in the kitchens at Kensington Palace and also at Buckingham Palace too, and Balmoral, Sandringham. Super easy dessert to make at home, tastes delicious. Thank you for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Click on the subscribe button, click a like, leave a comment as well. Maybe take a picture and show me what yours looks like. Let's take a look inside. It's the crispy tart shell, the super creaminess of that beautiful vanilla custard in the center, the bananas on the top, and a little apricot jam glaze. It's delicious. Want some? See you again soon.